Before this day begins, before the noise of the world fills your mind, before worry has a chance to whisper a single word, I want you to pause right here for a moment. Take a deep breath and recognize something powerful. You are not starting this day alone. God has already gone before you. He has already prepared the path you will walk. He already knows every challenge you will face and every victory that is waiting for you. This morning is not an accident. This moment is not ordinary. It is an opportunity to place your life into the hands of the one who never fails. No matter how heavy your heart may feel, no matter how uncertain yesterday was, today is a fresh start under God's protection. So as this new day unfolds, open your heart, quiet your spirit, and allow this prayer to become your shield, your strength, and your peace. Because when you begin your morning with God, you are not stepping into the day with fear. You are stepping into it with faith. When you open your eyes in the morning, before your feet ever touch the floor, there is an invitation waiting for you, an invitation to step into the presence of God. The world will rush at you soon enough. Responsibilities will call your name, messages will demand your attention, and worries may try to crowd your mind. But the very first decision you make each morning can set the tone for everything that follows. You can choose to dwell in God's presence. You see, dwelling is more than a quick visit. It is more than whispering a hurried prayer while your thoughts are already racing ahead. To dwell means to remain, to settle, to make your heart at home in the shelter of the Almighty. It means you pause long enough to recognize that God is already there, waiting for you, ready to strengthen you, ready to guide you, ready to surround you with His peace. And when you begin your day in that place, something powerful happens inside your spirit. Anxiety begins to loosen its grip, and confidence quietly takes its place. Many people wake up and immediately pick up their burdens. They start thinking about problems that haven't even happened yet. They rehearse conversations in their minds, worry about outcomes they cannot control, and carry stress before the day has even begun. But when you dwell in God's presence, you are laying those burdens down before you carry them any further. You are saying, Lord, before I face anything today, I choose to stand under your covering. There is a deep sense of security that comes when you realize you are not facing life alone. God is not distant. He is not unaware of what lies ahead of you. He knows every challenge you will encounter, every decision you will make, every obstacle that may try to stand in your way. And when you dwell in His presence, you are placing yourself in the safest place you can possibly be, the center of His will. Think about the difference it makes when you start your morning with peace instead of pressure. Instead of rushing into the day with tension in your chest, you step forward with calm assurance in your heart. Instead of reacting to circumstances, you respond with wisdom. Instead of feeling overwhelmed, you feel anchored. That is the power of beginning your day in God's presence. It does not remove every challenge, but it gives you strength to face each one with confidence. So take those first quiet moments of the morning and guard them carefully. Let them become sacred time between you and the Lord. Speak to Him. Listen for His guidance. Rest in His promises. Because when you choose to dwell in His presence at the start of your day, you are positioning yourself to walk through every hour with courage, clarity, and peace. Stay in His presence, and you will never walk into the day unprepared. After you have chosen to dwell in God's presence, the next step is to open your mouth and declare who He is in your life. There is something powerful about speaking your faith out loud. Your words have influence not only over your circumstances, but over your own heart and mind. When you begin the morning by declaring that God is your refuge and your fortress, you are setting a foundation that cannot be shaken by whatever the day may bring. You see, many people allow their feelings to define their reality. If they feel afraid, they assume they are unprotected. If they feel uncertain, they assume they are alone. But faith does not begin with feelings. Faith begins with truth. And the truth is that God is your safe place, your shelter in every storm, your defense in every battle. When you declare that truth first thing in the morning, you are reminding your soul where your security truly comes from. Think about what a fortress represents. A fortress is strong. It is secure. It is designed to withstand attacks from every direction. Enemies may surround it. Storms may beat against it. But the fortress stands firm. That is exactly what God promises to be for you. He is not a fragile refuge that collapses under pressure. He is not a temporary hiding place that disappears when trouble comes. He is a fortress that remains steady no matter how fierce the storm becomes. Now, that does not mean you will never face difficulties. It does not mean challenges will vanish or that life will always feel easy. But it does mean that you have a place of safety that cannot be taken from you. When you declare, Lord, you are my refuge and my fortress, you are placing your confidence in something far greater than your own strength. You are acknowledging that your protection does not depend on circumstances, resources, or human ability. It depends on God's unchanging power. There will be mornings when you wake up feeling strong and ready, but there will also be mornings when you feel tired, uncertain, or even afraid. On those days especially, your declaration matters. Speak it even when your voice feels weak. Speak it even when doubts try to whisper in your ear. Because every time you declare God as your refuge, you are building spiritual confidence inside your heart. You are training your mind to trust Him more deeply. And as you continue to make that declaration day after day, you will begin to notice a change. Fear will not dominate your thoughts the way it once did. Worry will not control your decisions. Instead, a quiet strength will rise within you, a steady assurance that no matter what happens, you are safe in God's hands. You will walk into your responsibilities with courage, face challenges with calmness, and handle uncertainty with faith. So when the morning begins, do not let silence be your only response. Let your faith be heard. Speak with confidence. Declare with conviction. Remind your heart who God is and where your security lies. Say it boldly and stand firmly in the fortress that never fails. As you step into a new day, one of the greatest comforts you can hold on to is this simple truth: God sees what you cannot see. There are dangers in life that are obvious, the kind you can prepare for and recognize. But there are also unseen threats, situations developing quietly, challenges forming behind the scenes, moments you never anticipated, and yet none of them catch God by surprise. He is already present in places you have not reached, already aware of circumstances you have not encountered, already working in ways you may never fully understand. That is why trusting God for protection is not a passive act. It is a daily decision of the heart. Each morning, you choose to place your confidence in His watchful care. You acknowledge that while you may not control every detail of the day, you are not unguarded. God's protection surrounds you in ways both visible and invisible. He guides your steps, redirects your path when necessary, and shields you from harm more times than you will ever know. Think about how often you worry about what might happen. You imagine worst-case scenarios. You rehearse problems before they even exist. Your mind runs ahead of you, creating fear out of uncertainty. But when you truly trust God to protect you, that cycle begins to break. Instead of living in constant anticipation of trouble, you begin to rest in the assurance that God is actively involved in your life. You understand that His presence goes before you, preparing the way. There will be moments when you face situations that feel overwhelming. You may encounter unexpected news, sudden changes, or difficult decisions. In those moments, fear may try to rise up quickly. But faith reminds you that you are not facing those challenges alone. God is standing with you, strengthening you, giving you wisdom, and protecting you even in the middle of uncertainty. His care is not limited to peaceful days. It is most powerful in the middle of storms. Sometimes His protection is dramatic and obvious. Other times, it is quiet and unnoticed. He may close a door you wanted to walk through, redirect your plans, or delay your progress. At first, it may feel frustrating or confusing, but later you realize that what looked like an obstacle was actually protection. What seemed like a setback was a shield. God was guarding you from something you could not see. So as you begin your morning, release the need to control every outcome. Let go of the burden of trying to foresee every danger. Place your trust in the one who watches over you without rest, without distraction, without limitation. He is attentive to every detail of your life, from the smallest concern to the greatest challenge. Walk into this day with confidence, knowing that wherever you go, God is already there. Trust that His hand is guiding you, His presence is surrounding you, and His protection is covering you in every moment. You are safer in His care than anywhere else you could ever be. There is a battle that often begins before the day fully unfolds, and it takes place quietly within your mind. Fear has a way of arriving early. It whispers about responsibilities, uncertainties, health concerns, financial pressures, and the unknowns that lie ahead. It tries to convince you that you are not ready, not strong enough, not secure enough, and if you allow those thoughts to settle in, they can shape the way you walk through the entire day. But God never intended for fear to be the voice that guides your steps. He calls you to replace fear with faith, and He has given you promises strong enough to do exactly that. Faith is not the absence of problems. It is the presence of trust. It is the quiet confidence that rises in your heart when you remember who God is and what He has said. When fear tells you that something might go wrong, faith reminds you that God is still in control. When anxiety tries to overwhelm your thoughts, faith gently redirects your attention back to the truth of His Word. That is why the promises of God are so important in your daily life. They are not just comforting phrases. They are anchors for your soul. Every promise God makes carries His authority, His power, and His faithfulness. He does not speak casually, and He does not make commitments He cannot keep. When He promises to be with you, He means it. When He promises to guide you, He will do it. When He promises to strengthen you, you can rely on it completely. Those promises become a shield against fear when you hold on to them with confidence. They steady your heart when circumstances feel uncertain. You may wake up some mornings with a heavy sense of worry pressing on your chest. You may feel uncertain about decisions you have to make or challenges you have to face. That is the moment when you intentionally shift your focus. Instead of replaying fearful thoughts, you remind yourself of God's truth. You speak His promises over your situation. You tell your heart, God is with me. God is for me. God will carry me through whatever lies ahead. And as you do that, something begins to change inside you. The tension starts to loosen. The fear begins to fade. Hope rises where anxiety once lived. This is not about pretending problems do not exist. It is about refusing to let fear have the final word. Faith gives you courage to move forward even when you do not have all the answers. It gives you strength to stand firm when circumstances feel uncertain. It gives you peace that does not depend on perfect conditions. And that kind of peace is powerful. It allows you to think clearly, act wisely, and face the day with steady confidence. So when fear tries to greet you in the morning, do not welcome it into your thoughts. Reach for God's promises instead. Hold on to them tightly. Repeat them until they settle deep within your spirit. Let them shape your perspective and guide your steps. Because when TH fills your heart, fear loses its place, and courage becomes your companion. Choose faith today and watch fear step aside. As you continue walking with God through the day, there is another comforting truth you can hold close to your heart. You are never traveling alone. God in His great love and wisdom provides protection in ways that go beyond what you can see or understand. One of those ways is through His angels, messengers and servants assigned to watch over those who trust in Him. This is not something mysterious or distant. It is a promise that reflects how deeply God cares about every step you take. Think about the reassurance that brings to your spirit. When you leave your home in the morning, when you step into your responsibilities, when you travel unfamiliar roads or face unexpected situations, you can do so with confidence, knowing that God's protection surrounds you. You may not see it with your physical eyes, but His care is active and constant. He is attentive to details you might overlook. He is aware of dangers you may never recognize, and He is faithful to guard you in ways that are both quiet and powerful. Sometimes we move through life feeling exposed, as if we must rely only on our own strength and awareness. We double-check everything, try to anticipate every risk, and carry a sense of tension in our hearts. But God never intended for you to live in constant anxiety. He invites you to trust His protection fully. When you begin your morning in prayer, you are not simply asking for a good day. You are placing yourself under His watchful care. You are acknowledging that He is capable of guarding your path far better than you ever could. On your own, there will be moments when you sense His guidance clearly. You may feel a gentle prompting to pause, to take a different route, to wait before making a decision, or to reconsider a plan. Those I-8 nudges are often expressions of His protection. At other times, His protection operates without your awareness. He may prevent an accident, remove an obstacle, or arrange circumstances in your favor long before you realize what could have happened. And one day, perhaps in hindsight, you will recognize how faithfully He was watching over you all along. Inviting God's angels to watch over your steps is not about fear. It is about trust. It is about recognizing that your life matters to God, that your safety matters to Him, and that your journey is important in His eyes. When you walk in obedience and keep your heart aligned with His will, you position yourself to experience the fullness of His protection. That does not mean life will always be easy, but it does mean you are never unguarded. So as you step into this day, Move forward with calm assurance. Let your heart rest in the knowledge that God's presence surrounds you wherever you go. Trust that He is guiding your steps, strengthening your decisions, and protecting you in every moment. Walk with confidence, not because you control everything, but because God is faithfully watching over you. Go forward today, knowing you are covered by His unseen protection. As your morning prayer begins to draw to a close, there is one final posture that will carry you through the rest of the day, and that is a heart filled with peace, confidence, and gratitude. You have placed yourself in God's presence. You have declared Him as your refuge. You have trusted Him for protection and replaced fear with faith. Now it is time to step forward with a quiet assurance that He will continue to be faithful in every moment that lies ahead. Peace is not something the world can manufacture. It does not come from perfect circumstances or predictable outcomes. Real peace comes from knowing that your life is in God's hands. It is the calm that settles deep within your spirit when you trust Him completely. You may still have responsibilities to handle, challenges to face, and decisions to make, but you carry a sense of steadiness inside you. Instead of rushing into the day with tension, you move forward with confidence because you know God is guiding your steps. Confidence, in this sense, is not pride in your own abilities. It is trust in God's strength working through you. You recognize that you do not have to figure everything out on your own. You do not have to carry every burden by yourself. God has promised to sustain you, to provide for you, and to give you wisdom when you need it most. That truth allows you to walk into uncertain situations without fear. You may not know exactly how things will unfold, but you know the one who is in control of it all. And then there is gratitude, perhaps the most powerful way to end your morning prayer. Gratitude shifts your focus from what you lack to what you already have. It reminds you of God's past faithfulness and builds your expectation for His future provision. When you thank Him before the day even begins, you are expressing trust that He is already working on your behalf. You are declaring that His goodness is not limited to yesterday. It will be present today as well. Think about how your perspective changes when gratitude fills your heart. Instead of waking up with dread, you wake up with anticipation. Instead of focusing on problems, you begin to notice blessings. Instead of feeling overwhelmed, you feel strengthened. Gratitude opens your eyes to the ways God is moving in your life, even in the smallest details. It turns ordinary moments into reminders of His grace and transforms challenges into opportunities to see His power at work. So as you rise to meet the day, carry this attitude with you. Let peace guard your heart when circumstances fail you. And certain, let confidence guide your decisions when challenges appear. Let gratitude shape your words and actions in every interaction you have. These qualities will not only change how you experience the day, they will influence the people around you as well. Your calm spirit can bring reassurance to others. Your thankful heart can inspire hope. Your steady faith can point someone toward the same source of strength you have discovered. Step into this day with your head held high and your heart anchored in God's promises, trusting that He will lead you, sustain you, and bring you safely through whatever comes. Walk forward with peace, confidence, and gratitude, and expect God to do more than you can imagine. Now, as you go forward into this day, carry these words deep within your heart. Remember that God is your refuge, your protector, and your constant guide. No matter what happens, you are covered by His presence, strengthened by His promises, and surrounded by His peace. Walk with confidence when challenges arise. Stand with courage when uncertainty appears. And rest with assurance knowing that God is working in every moment of your life. This day is not yours to fear. It is yours to trust God with. So lift your head, steady your heart, and step forward in faith. Go into this day blessed, protected, and unafraid.